Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Nicole. I really love the conversational tone that you have as you told us about all of your experiences. That being said, I also have a suggestion with respect to that. You certainly excelled at providing us with a logical speech. You actually tied your speech to the theme, coincidentally, and you opened with a bit of a rhetorical question. That's a nice device to use in person, but it's hard. It's a hard device to use with an online audience because you're not sure exactly how they are reading your question. But kudos to you for doing that. You took us through all of your adventures with very well constructed slides. I appreciated the map that was on the side and your arrows so that we were guided through that. You had a picture or two with each of your destinations and just some highlights, just a handful of words on the slide. So I thought that your slides really guided the conversation and guided us through your adventures. I thought that your title was very strong and it drew us in even before you used it in both the opening and the closing. So well done on that. Something to work on, I think, is to look for opportunities for both deliberate gestures and vocal variety. For example, you talked about when you were at the Hubbard Glacier and you shrugged your shoulders, but you could make that gesture, oh, well, like you could make it so much bigger and more expressive. And when you go on a hike, actually go on a hike, just even if it's 2 or 3 steps, don't be scared to step away from your notes. I mean, you have to be here because you're advancing slides, but don't be scared to give us a bit of a gesture as you're going on your hike. With regard to voice, I really liked that you talked about where were you when you talked about, I've got to look at my notes. Oh, at the end of Caught Arm, you said it was cool and it was cool, but it was cool and it was cool. So again, just look for those opportunities, perhaps with some exaggeration. And you talked about my favorite. So emphasize those words. Now, to challenge yourself, although you did a very good job of going through the slides, I liked that you moved the audience from the side down to the bottom, about halfway through. But my suggestion to you and my challenge is when you're doing this type of presentation, take a minute, look at the slide and recognize immediately that look and then make that move to begin with. Just like we say on table topics, take a minute, think, and then speak. So take a minute, position things, and then move on. But a great presentation. I enjoyed it so much. And having been to some of those cities on your journey, I really could relate to some of the things you said. I hope that other people will also put it on their bucket list.